Hello everyone, welcome back from the AI blog project with Laravel and Vue.js TypeScript. So in this series, we have done a couple of functions for the blog, and then part 4. Right now is part 5, and after that maybe we'll have a final one will be part 6. So we will do the favorite function in this video. When you go there, you will have favorite and favorite. So if you unfavorite, you will see no post. If you favorite, it will be showing with the pagination. Let me check here if it will be showing with the pagination here. So we will be doing for that. For the previous video, if you don't have a chance to watch, let's go back and check in that AI driven blog, Laravel Vue.js, TypeScript, TailwindCSS. We have around part 4. So let's do coding. So before we code in, I will minimize everything here. Let me close. Minimize. So I use the theme, which is called that's color theme, which is called one type plain night. I change, but in the previous video it will be different. For the icon, I use 5 icon themes, material icon theme. You can install or browse additional themes and icon. That's totally fine. For the server, I open 2 terminal here. I will clear, and I will click, and I will run php ertl soft. And for the front end, I will run dev. So this is another separated terminal in order to use for different purpose. So yeah, that's pretty much about the setup for the deployment. And yeah, so let's do the coding. In the project, we have the blog. When you go into the post edit, you will see the favorite icon. So when you click that, that show asks the server to add that post item ID and the authenticated user ID in the database. I will show you the database. In the SQLite, you go into the favorite. Right now, I have been testing, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 items in the database. So I will minimize like this and like this. Okay, so this one is user ID. This one is blog post ID. So user ID is 1, the same user is adding different blog post ID here. So we would add to the database. If user click again, it will remove from the database. So this is the logic, right? So we will do start coding. So first of all, we have to send that ID with the user ID from the URL. That's why we have to create web.play.php URL. So I have already created URL here. I will uncomment and I will show you post method with the natural request and select blog, and then I will bring the parameter of the specific post. For example, here we have the blog post ID 5. So this one will be 5 here, and the tongue favorite. This is the end URL. So in the blog post controller, same controller, we have tongue favorite. So we will create that later on. This is favorite.id. Perfect. So I will go and create I will minimize the index, every index. So this is the function we have finished in previous video about asking AI to generate poem or post. So here we will create the add to favorite function. So inside here, before we do actual coding, I will show you the logic. Okay, so public public function. So this one will be tongue and favorite, and I will remove this. Perfect. So every post request, we will receive the request, right? Request, and we will receive also blog post ID from the network request. So in here, we will check that post can be added to the favorite by the only authenticated user. Therefore, we have to find, right? Not find. We have to create create auth user variable first. Then we have to find favorite fav item for that user, right? If it is that favorite item is item exit, we'll say if, right? If that favorite item is exit, we will do the delete or remove that item from favorite, right? So as we will do the add to fav and save in db, right? So that is pretty much about the logic for adding to the favorite. So we will do the create the variable for user. So that user will be auth function user. So that auth has been import from the eliminate spot fetgate auth. Okay, fetgate. So this is the auth user variable we just created. So we will find the favorite items for that specific auth user. So in the user.php model, we have favorites relationship, right? So we will call that and find one according to the blog post ID. Perfect. So I will create the fav and then I will find from the that user fav or favs, right? Favorite where we can check with the where will be blog post ID we have in the database, right? Blog post ID, and then we will check the blog post that user is trying to request, and then we will take the first using first function to get the specific object of the favorite. So we got the favorite data after we validate with using where. Then I would say if favorite item is exit, so we will create if that fav is exit, we will do the deletion part, right? So I will do the deletion here, delete or remove. So how we will delete? Very straightforward. We will say favorite delete. Perfect. So I use fav for favorite, right? In the short form. So that being said, we will go straightforward to the s. Okay, if it is s, we will add to the favorite. So we can add do the favorite with the authenticated user. Therefore we have to use $user fav oints, and then we can use the crate in the Laravel. So in that crate we have to pass two variable like one variable blog post ID using the arrow key, that blog post underscore ID. Perfect. So by doing that, you just created the associated favorite item with the authenticated user in the database. So that's pretty much about the adding to the database for the authenticated user, and we will create the actual function for that. We will request, right, when you click that. So for that we are now in, when you go back, when you view, so this is show.view plate, right? Component. So I will go here, show.view. Inside show.view we had that button. So I will minimize this one. So that button I can delete like this, right? So okay, so I can delete. If I delete, there is no button here. That's why this is the favorite button. So I want to separate that button in order to reuse in different components. I don't want to integrate that button in here. So I will create another component for that under the component folder. So we have different component here, pagination as well. So I will create the new file favoriete.view. So inside that favorite, I will create the script, and that script will use the setup, and language will be lang TypeScript, right? So we will create template. Inside that template, we will paste that button again. We just copy that button, right, from the show. We just so we can now delete that button, and so we can reuse that component that we created here. So we can just simply import favoriete. So now the IntelliSense is showing you want to import that component. Yes, of course. Then it will be importing here. If I refresh, you see the same reset. So we'll go back here and we'll create the pro to receive the ID, because as I mentioned, we will be passing that block ID 5, right, through the web URL we just created in the web.play.php here, right? So we will pass that ID. So in order to get that ID from favorite component, we can do simply using the const proms define proms. So we will use the TypeScript return style. So inside here we will announce the ID. We will receive the ID as a number, right? So we got our ID. So now when you go back to the show component, that favorite component is asking you to pass that ID because we just demanding from our favorite component, give me the ID, I need ID. So here you need to pass that ID, right? So we will pass using that blog post. Here we will get the blog post dot ID. Dot ID. Perfect. Now you have been given the required ID to that component. So we can grab that ID and do the actual work here. So I will create the function for add or remove favorite. So that function will be doing the add or deleting from favorite, right? So I will say const toggle tongen favoriente equal we will use arrow function key. Inside here I will use the inertia manual visit. When you go manual visit, you will see the router. So that router is actually when you make a network request, it will not reload the entire page. If you don't use, it will be reloading, you know, the page will be blank. We don't want that. So I will grab that, I will paste here, and I will copy that, and I will paste in here, right? So, oops. So that being created, we don't need that data. And we will use the post method because in our web, we use the post method, right? So for the URL, I will use the basic. Inside there, I will use blog slack. So that will be the to make sure I will copy the URL from here, right? So not to get the typo. Oops, I will minimize here and like this. Perfect. So I will paste, and here we will pass the proms ID, props.id, right? This proms ID. Okay, so it will be blog slash 5 slash tongen favorite. So we sent with the post method. So it's been sending. Then the blog post controller will do the rest, right? So I will go back here. If I click back, I haven't called that function in our bottom. So I will say add click. So perfect. So if I click, so we will go back and check in our database. Where is our, yeah, this one. So inside here in the favorite, we have 1 2 3, right? 1 2 3 data. So if I click again, it will delete because in our controller we make, you know, if it is favorite ident is there, we will remove, right? So I will click again. So I will refresh. So one ident is there. If I click, no, it's removed. Perfect. So this is the logic we want. So right now we have to show the visualization to the customer or to the client. When he click, the icon will be changed. For that, it's very straightforward. We will go and grab the SVG repo. Inside it, we will use the heart. That heart, we will use the fade heart, right? like a feeling yellow heart. So I will do the yeah, so that's will be great. I will copy, and after SVG tag, so I will comment for FAV icon. So excuse me. uh, we were now, what we can do is I will go and check. Right now we have two icons at the same time. So in the TailwindCSS, we can define the icon size to get the actual size we want, right? So class equal with -6, like that. So I will create another variable for const is FAVORINTE. So we will use right now ref from the Vue.js. As a default, it will be false, right? So I just created simply its favorite constant variable in the JavaScript. So I have to import that ref from the Vue. So now it's imported, right? So if it is false, I will show the icon not fade, no? If it is true, I will show the color heart. So I will validate here with that. If I will show not equal true here, not equal true, and if it is with that as, we will show the heart. So if I come back and if I change the value here false to true, it should be changed to the red. Perfect. So if you change here, it will change the UI here. So that is really nice. So how we can change that value from the database? You may remember in the previous video, we use the handle inertia request to after we create the blog post, we show the notification, right? So that status has been handled from the handle inertia request.php here. So we created the data flash. So it is sharing the data. When you come here, share data, in here you may see that handle inertia request. You can share the data anything you want through here. So that share data can be called using the page here. So we will do the favorite array list here, like returning 1, 2, 3 ID of the post from here. So I will do like using the if as comma and full comma. So I have already write. So I will explain you here. So if, right, if, so that code is very simple. So we created the favorite, and then if it request user is exit, we will use the question mark if. So we will call the favorite relationship with that authenticated user, and that flag, which is from the PHP, you can use the flag to only get the array list from the favorite table, and with the blog post, we want blog post ID only. Then we make two array. After, if there is no request user, like here, there is no request user, not authenticated user, will be returning the empty array list. You will see what I mean here. So I will come back and I will do like this. So if I refresh the page, when I come here, view, so I will bring like this. If I go to the inertia prompts, when you see alt, under alt, now you are seeing that favorite list, also user, right? So that user, now that user has the favorite array list 3 item in the database, right? So now we got everything we need inside that. So that being said, I will go and oops, where is that? Okay, here. I will go and validate for that in order to see the yellow or red or no fake color heart here. So in the here, when you call that component, I will go back to the block. When you click view, so we can do automatically validate for it using on mounted. So that function is in the Vue.js. It is very useful when you want to call everything automatically inside it when user click for that component, right? So I will say is favorite.value. We'll change the value here. We have to use UsePay like the InArcher.js mentioned. So I will copy that UsePay above here. So we have to import from InArcher, of course. Then we can use that page here. Page dot prompts dot auth dot we have right favorites FAVORITS. So we can say it's include or not. Like we are only getting the 234. That 234 is blog post ID, right? So we can check include as include with that prompt, right? With that prompt ID, that prompt ID. So I can say prompt.id. So if it is included in here, we will show the icon color red, right? So let me check. The ID is 5. So there is no 5 in here. Let me go and see. No 5. So if I click, so I will refresh. I will refresh here. So if I come back prompt auth favorite, so 5 is there. That means that icon 10 red, right? So if I come back here, it's already red. So it's already changed the value for its favorite, right, on mount. So perfect. So we now know how we can add to the favorite using Vue.js. So I went to show the favorite item as a list in here. So we will go and create for that. You have authenticated layout under Result.js layouts. You go there, and here beside the block, you can create the FAVORITS, right? So we have to change the name, not blog.index. We will change FAVORITE.index, and this one also, right? So we will change the route name. So this one will be favorite here. So we will go to the web because we have to create that route. We haven't set anything. So I will uncomment here. I have already paid for that. I call favorite select index using the get method. Inside the block controller, we will create the favorite index. I call favorite.index as a route name. So I will go into the blog post controller. Perfect. So in here, I will minimize that one. So I have already created. To save our time, I will not code for it because it is easy one. Like the index, it is the same logic. So here we find the favorite associated auth user with the blog post, and we fetch the latest using paginate. So it will return the favorite paginate data through the favorite components. So using InArcher render. So in the favorite folder in the index component, we haven't create that. So we will go and create for that. You go into the JS and the pages. I will create the new folder called favorite. So under favorite, I will create index.view. So we have created the index for the favorite. So I will minimize that, and we will create the script template. So that script we should have the setup using the composition API. So language will be, we will use the TypeScript. Inside that template, I will say FAV list. Okay. So if I click here, it should redirect me to that template. So perfect. Yeah. So we want the layout. So authenticated layout, the ENTICADED and layer 1 OUT. So that layout will be add for the header for it. So that will be coming from the layout authenticated layout. So I have imported here. So as you see, so we will make our UI here. So I will come from the Tailwind and tailblog.cc. You will get the different component, and I like this one. Okay, so I will copy that code in that session, and then I will come back here. Instead of favorite list, I will paste. So that session will be using for our favorite items. So for the H1, I will rename for the FAVORITE items. So that will be changing the title. So P, I will leave it like that. For the items, let me check. I will delete the rest. I will keep only one item. So here, we leave only one item, so we can loop that. We already returned the prompt data from the controller in Azure. So I will show you the prompt data we have here. So when you come here in Azure, you already have favorites. So that favorite has the three data array in the three items, like 1 object, 2 object, 3 object, and with the links. So that's being returned with the pagination. That's why we will be using the that data. So first of all, I want to improve the code here. You may note that I use the interface a lot for the blog post. So we have to rewrite again and again. So let me show you in the show.view. So you may see that interface blog. So we have to create again and again. So in here also like this. So instead of doing again and again, it's like taking a lot of space in memory, and also for the performance, it is not good because the code is a lot. So what you can do is you can create the TypeScript file and you can reuse that code, the same code in different component. In the real world project, you have to think about the performance, legacy, and everything. That's why we have to read documentation and we have to work for the performance, right? So for that, I will create the JS. Under the JS, I will create the types. So for that types, I will create another file under the types. I will say types.ts. So this will be our types. So we will declare our type in there. So I will Control X or Command X. Then I will say export. So by doing export, we can reuse that interface across the components. So let's use in the show. So I will delete that and I will import from the types like this. Okay, so you can do the same thing in index as well, like this one. Let me improve the code like that. Yeah, so for the edit, we may have, yes, blog post interface, and I think this one is, yeah, above. So we will import. So here in the edit, you may see also found data interface. This is also the same thing. We using that found data, the same coding, writing again and again in create and the edit. That's why we will bring that component, interface in here as well. So we have to export, right? export, export. So by exporting, we can reuse that in here, right? So it will be import import in use file where it's imported. No, it doesn't import that. Let me go and import data from the strange, huh? So we just created, let me check, found data, yes, exported found data from, okay, so I will write the comma found data like this. So yeah, perfect. Sometimes our intelligence, the VS Code intelligence is a little bit slow. So for the edits, we finish for edit and the how about create? Yeah. So I will delete that and I will import from the types. Perfect. So now we improve our code a lot, and yeah, as you wish, you can also improve if I may miss in that video. So perfect. And we will work on our favorite index. So here we have to define the prompts, right? So I will define prompts like the show. We can use that the same logic here, define prompts. So so we will import that blog post from the types that we just created from the types. And then I would say here we create favorite. That's why I would say here favorite or RITS, right? So we don't need that. And then we can reuse that prompt data in here, right? So I will loop with for FAV or FAV in FAV or RITS dot data. So here you see the data. We have to loop that array, and then I will say every item should have own key, right? So key FAV dot blog. So that key can grab from the each blog post. Here you may see under object 0, this is index 0, have the blog post, and the blog post we have ID. That's why I call blog post, right? So blog post dot ID. Perfect. So after that we can here after that we can assign the data in the UI. So for the image I will create like this and view binding style. So here we have to use batik and storage slash the fav dot blog post dot img image. So our image data is there. I will show you with the view. Okay, index favorite. I just grab from the image from here, right? Image, this link, and for the title as well. So we can grab the title here, like fav dot blog post dot title. So it will bring the title here. For the paragraph, I will minimize this one for now. So for the paragraph, you can do fav dot blog post dot content, right? content. We have content there. So some of the content is short enough, some of the contents are longer. So we don't want that. We want to validate for that. So how can we validate? We have like length, length, length. So by saying that you see 728 687 79. If it is more than maybe let's say more than 200, right? We will use the question mark and full comma validation here. So we call ternary validation here. So in here we can say favorite.blogpost.content. I would say content dot substring. We can substring in the JavaScript. You can use substring, and then you can start index from 0 to until 200, right? So it will substring your actual value there. Then what you can do is you can make plus, and or you can do dot with the yeah, you have to use the plus sign like this, plus, so like this. So it will be doing like and this one also. But for the short one, that's perfect. So by doing that, you can make your UI and user interface more nice, right? So this one we will use the moment. I will show you the index block. We use the moment moment.js to define the to format the time, right? So I will copy that one. It is the same thing. So I will paste in here. So we have to import the moment.js above here. Then you have to say favorite dot blog post dot create that at. So by doing that, your time format, let me show you. Here will be 2 days ago or something like this, right? So that is perfect. For the link, when you click here, I want user to redirect to the blog post today. So we can do using the link. Let me show you. Yeah, I would use that div, that div, right? So I will create the link for that instead of div. So that link we can grab from the inertia, right? So it's already imported there automatically for me. Oh no, okay, so I will import like this. Link, right? So we have href, right? Every link has href, href. Then we will use the backtick here, slash blog slash favorite dot blog post dot id, right? So if it is blog post id 5, we will redirect that user to that blog post id. So if I click, perfect, and then favorite, when you come back, it's not there here. So for the pagination, I will show you how we will do the pagination, right? So for the pagination, how about if I move up like that, and we'll go into the view, and here you may see the links, right? This is for pagination. We can pass like that. We have already created the pagination component, so we can reuse that. If you haven't watched that video, I recommend you to go and watch in my channel. I have already created that. So I will say pagi pagination here. You see component pagination.view, and we have to pass the link. In pagination here, the bronze demand the links. That's why we have to pass links, right? And that links can be coming from favorite dot links. By saying that, you will get your pagination here, right? So that is pretty much about it. If you add another maybe items, this one already in the favorite, and how about this one? Yeah, so when you go favorite, you will see 2 second page here, right? So that is pretty much about in that video. I will show you with the nice and big UI. So this is pretty much about that video. Now you can create the post, and you can generate with the AI. Let's say I will show you demonstration. This is pretty much about nearly finished. We just need to set up the dashboard and the landing page, right? So GNEIT generate a poem about water. Okay, water. So it will generate a poem about water. Okay, perfect. It just took around 4-5 seconds, right? Water, and then here, right? So in that this one, right? So and then after I say boom, so your post created successfully. Then you may add to the favorite. So when you go into the favorite, you will see like this. This is really nice UI using TailwindCSS. So I hope you were enjoying it. If you enjoyed my tutorial, I would like you to subscribe my channel and share with your friends who are interested in studying programming. I am teaching programming basic and also advanced level. So please show your support to my channel so I can do more tutorial in the future.